We are Zoe
and Sirazul,
Standard Bay County Theatre's associate artists, and we are discussing
Unveiling Bradford's Rohingya community,
the untold stories of Sirazul Islam and 3 generations. Hello Sirazul.
Hi Zoe.
Let's delve into your family.
Yes, I have a big family, so there's a lot to talk about. I have a brother in New Zealand, so he's in New Zealand. We are here in the UK, and some family in Burma, and some family in Bangladesh, so a lot of family members.
Talk to me about your mum.
My mum is a brilliant woman. She is someone like I would describe as a very good advocate for women's rights, a very good practical example of a woman being powerful, of running a matriarchal family. She's what I like to call entrepreneurial, and that's because in the refugee camp, my dad used to go outside. He used to secretly leave the camp to go make a living in nearby cities. So my entire family was left alone and without a male role figure, and that's really important, and it's quite daunting for some people in the refugee camp especially. And my mum ran our entire household for 2 decades, and she would support my mother, my father in his journey. So he was a fisherman. He was a very good fisherman. So he used to go and fish, but at home she used to make the nets.
Wow.
And then she would sell them on, and then she would make pots, and then she would sell that on. She would grow vegetable, and then she would sell that on. So these were things that she did in the refugee camp, which allowed her to save up money and also advocate. And a very interesting story for some people to hear, and for my nieces and nephews who are listening to this, and for them to hear about their grandmother and their uncle. So there was a time when I was younger that my brother tried to escape the refugee camp. He was very well educated. He went to school. He was a very big advocate of Rohingya rights, and at the time you weren't allowed to do that. So he was a political target where he used to get arrested all the time. He used to be put into jail, and he used to be harassed quite a bit purely because of speaking up for Rohingya rights in the refugee camp. So what he did was he was somehow managed to get out, and he smuggled himself with the help of human traffickers, I guess, into India, a nearby country. And my father couldn't help because he was out working, and we were all too young. So this is my eldest brother we're talking about. We were all far too young. So she made it upon herself to go to the UNHCR, the United Nations office in the refugee camp, every single day, and go make a police report and do all those activities that are quote unquote manly. And she did that because of her love for her child, but because of the necessity that the situation demanded. And so they told her to give up. They said he was dead. They've done many things for the whole year, and she refused to give up at all until she got UNHCR to be involved, until he finally came back home. So that's a very, very interesting story that my nieces and nephews might not know about, and hopefully they'll know about. And then now at home about my mum. So she spent 2 decades in the in Burma, then 2 decades in the refugee camp, and now nearly 2 decades in the UK. And her friends have made it a point to go to English classes. And I think it's the shift in perspective we were talking about, when they realize how important their voices are, and then they knew, for us to be able to effectively communicate this and live a quality life, we need to learn English. And it was something that they might have not known the importance of previously. So she's 50. When she was 57, she started going to workshops and English classes, and
amazing.
And she gets homework. So sometimes I have to help her with the homework, and it's the weirdest feeling on the planet, because it's like, I would never have imagined my mum getting homework and then her actually doing it as well.
Amazing. Female voices then. How can we make sure that female voices can be amplified in policy making?
I guess very simply just including them in the first place. And once people include female voices, then they appreciate the importance and the quality of it as well. Like I said before, you won't ask an engineer's opinion if you have a problem with your heart. Like, you know, you'll go to a GP or a heart surgeon or someone specialized in that sector. And just as it is in policy making, there are specialties that women can advocate on, and there are quality of voices that women bring, and qualities, these perspectives are high quality and that they bring. And yeah, so it's just taking that first leap of faith, especially for a community like Rohingya community, but also the Bradfordian community, which is take that leap of faith, you know, and allow that person, or not even allow, include that person, and then you'll see the benefit, and immediately you'll see why they're so important.
Particularly with women like your mum who have had experiences of childbearing and birth and raising children, lots of children as far as I understand.
And grandchildren.
And, you know, men don't have these experiences. So it's a perspective that nobody else can have a say on apart from women.
Yeah, very, very well put. And that's the thing. And once they're engaged in these perspectives and conversations, then the quality of voices that they bring in other conversations is immediately apparent.
As far as I remember, your cousin is still in the refugee camp.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about him and his story?
Yes. We are very similar age. He's only a couple of years older than me. We were born in the same house or tent. We spent the first half of our lives together, and it's quite daunting to think about and to bring it up, because I think I have been given an opportunity, and I don't like to use the word lucky, because no one's life should be determined based on luck, but it is luck, because my family was randomly chosen based on a few criterias by the UNHCR to come here, and even though we weren't living in the same tent, his family wasn't. And so you can see my sense of apprehension in that. And we grew up together, and then we parted ways, and then now he's in the refugee camp still living, and I'm here, and the quality of our lives are different because of the opportunities we have been afforded. And I always think and wonder, had he been given the same opportunities as me, he might have gone on to do better things than me. He might have gone on to do, and I know he would have been a better advocate, he would have been a better speaker, he would have been doing more things. But I could never, indulge in that exercise, because frankly, the matter of the fact is, he's still fighting for his most basic human rights in a refugee camp. I am a university graduate. I am going to be a solicitor soon. But he can't do any of that. He can't even, go beyond primary school education, because he's not being afforded those opportunities. And it is really sad to think about the contrast in life, and the contrast in when thinking about what opportunities are presented, because the fact is, if the Rohingyas are given the opportunity, then they can take the world by storm. And we can see that in Bradford in itself. We have many families. A lot of Bradfordians have many Rohingya Bradfordians have many families who are stuck back home, and that's what keeps us grounded, which is, if by luck, or if there was a change in paper or a change in tick box exercises, I would have been there and he would have been here, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to come here and speak about him to you.
Do you ever speak to him?
Oh yeah, all the time. And it is quite hard, because we always think about the sense of like what we have and what we don't. Even if it's not apparent, it's always there in the back of our mind, which is, I got lucky and he didn't get lucky. And it's really, really sad, because life shouldn't come to that. And we speak all the time and we keep each other updated on our lives, but it's our way of community and unity and staying together.
And you also have lots of nieces, from who we'll hear soon.
I do, and you'll hear different perspectives. Some who were only one when they came to this country, so practically babies. Some who were born into this country, so they were British from birth.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's go into that.
Yes.
Thank you, Sirazul, for sharing your stories, your dreams, your hopes, your reality, your advocacy, your actions, everything.
Thank you, Zoe. I think you've asked some brilliant questions and thought-provoking questions as well. And I hope the audience takes something away from this. If nothing, then the fact or the importance of identity, but also the importance of giving an opportunity to a community who has been refused for far too long. And thank you to all the people who have made this happen, to Bradford Made, to City of Culture, and to SBC more importantly. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
दिले ढाके ले तुम्हारे ओ भुआ जा